Hello and welcome. My name is Jem Wyatt and I help women take action in their lives and their businesses so they can achieve whatever they thought possible. And I am so excited that you are here today because I am just lit on fire today to talk about what the subject that we're going to talk about, and I am just really excited just to be here. This is a new time for me. Normally I have been doing Facebook Lives pretty consistently on Thursdays at 3, and I thought I would mix it up and try it in the evening on a Tuesday to see if I could get any more of you to join me live, because that would be amazing. So if you're joining me live, please say hi so I can say hi back, and if you are watching this in the replay, then say hi there too, because I like to know what you're interested in, if this topic was a good one, if anything I talk about is something you're interested, if there's anything else that you'd like me to talk about or you want to talk about, I could bring you on live and you could join me. That would be awesome. So I'm just excited to be here and I'm excited to talk about this topic. So I want to ask you a question, and I want you to think about this because it's something that it's important. It's an important question, and just think deeply about it. And if you have an answer to this question, totally leave it in the comments. I would love to see what you have on your mind for sure, especially around this question. So are you ready for the question? The question is, what do you need to set in motion? It may be that you're struggling with feelings like things will never change. Like days are passing you by, or you are avoiding doing that one thing, doing the thing, that goal, that big goal. Maybe it's changing your diet, or writing a book, or running a marathon, or just simply starting exercising. I mean, there's so many things that we could have goals around. So how do you feel about that? What do you need to set in motion? Sometimes it can feel like you start on a big goal and you just do it here and there, or when you have time, or whatever, but you really want to do it consistently. But consistency, takes work, and sometimes it can be easy to come up with some reason why we can't do that, why we can't show up like that. So if that's you, keep listening, because we're going to talk about that. So I remember sitting in a crowded room one time. The air conditioner wasn't working. It was pretty uncomfortable, but I was happy to be there. I was happy to be in the surroundings because I was at a leadership conference, and I love conferences. I love learning. I love just being in a room and learning with lots of people. And the moment sticks out for me, just not because of my surroundings, not because I was uncomfortable or anything like that. It stands out for me because the speaker in the training was going through a checklist of what makes a leader different than a manager. So it was really fascinating to me because I had been managing and I really wanted to grow and expand and up level my life, my career, and keep growing and learning. So what they talked about specifically in this context was that managers often don't come to the table with a solution, but leaders always do. They come to the table, or they walk in the room, or they come to the team with a solution instead of, I don't know, or I'm not sure how to do that. They come with some way to get that thing done, right? And so when I heard this, I thought, oh, this is awesome. I'm going to be a great leader because, I'm a problem solver. I love to take a situation, take anything and work a way to get that done, right? To be able to say, yes, we can accomplish this, we can implement this. And so I felt really good about myself, right? But I should have waited to pat myself on the back, because while in big things and big projects and situations, I was able to create alternate revenues or avenues of getting things done, or I was able to fix things, I found myself having excuses around little things, like how I managed my time, how I showed up at work, how I worked towards my goals. And I started to get a little frustrated because I thought, well, I've got this in the big things, but every day I'm like, oh no, I'm too tired to work out, or I'm too full because I ate too much, or you know, I just am not feeling up to today, or I need to have a little bit of grace with myself because I'm feeling tired today, or whatever. Or the biggest one that I hear, and I've said before, is I just don't have enough time for that. I'll just do it tomorrow. But those are, they sound like reasons. They sound really good. They sound really valid. They sound like, yes, this is reasonable, right? I can say this and feel good about the fact that I didn't get that thing done that I needed to do, or that I wanted to do, or that would really just light me on fire to do, right? And I want to say to you right now, and this is a lesson that I learned, that no growth happens without resistance. If you know anything about growing roses or even fruit trees, right? They often need to be pruned before they'll produce fruit. And roses produce the best, most beautiful, sweetest smelling flowers when they're pruned back, they're trimmed. And that's what I'm talking about, that resistance, because oftentimes when we know we have to get that thing done, that we know that we need to start writing that book, or we need to start writing a blog consistently, or you know, working on that marketing plan if you're in business, or if you know you're thinking about personal productivity or personal goals, that like I've stated before in some of my lives, you can't just run a marathon by getting up one day and saying, I'm going to run that marathon today. It takes work, it takes time, it takes planning, it takes consistency. So I just want you to understand, and I want you to hear, because this is what really helped me, was that no growth happens without resistance. Meaning that anytime that we are seeking to up level, or to do that great thing, or to meet that goal, or to write that book, or to start a nonprofit, or to be that person that you want to be, that growth, that change, it won't happen without some resistance on our part. That we are going to get up one day and say, I don't feel like doing this right now. And granted, sometimes we are expecting way too much. Again, like I said, you can't just get out of bed and run a marathon. And we can't beat ourselves up because today I can't run a marathon, but that's expecting more, and even that can become a reason or excuse, right? Because then you say, oh, well, I'm not prepared, I don't know how to be prepared. And ultimately, what we don't get done, the goals that we don't meet, is a decision. It's a choice. It's not a reason. It's not something that's happening to us. There's a reason and a choice, some active part that we took or didn't take in order to not get that done. It takes just as much energy to not do something as it does to do something, right? Because if you don't do something, then we think about it, we stew about it, we beat ourselves up about it, or we reason about it, or we explain it away, and that takes time and energy, right? Probably less time or more time. It would take us less time to, see, I'm getting all excited. I am getting my words all mixed up. It would take us less time to actually do the thing, right? To take that movement, to spend 10 minutes writing a book, or to, you know, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So I want to ask you again, what do you need to set in motion? What do you really want to do because of fill in the blanks? What do you really want to do but haven't because of ... What reason or excuse are you getting up and saying to yourself every day to not meet that goal? I'd love to know what your goal is. I'd love to know what reason you have. Leave that in the comments for sure, because I have a ton. I have a list so long from my past, and even today, because I'm totally not perfect. I get a lot done, and I'm focused, and I am, you know, an achiever, and I take rest when I need to rest. But, you know, I can still have excuses. I can still say, oh, well, I just don't feel good today. Or my day was so busy. That's like a number one excuse I used to have. I try to take the busy word out of my vocabulary because I don't like that word. And I have a blog that I wrote on my least favorite 4-letter word, and that's the word busy. Because again, it becomes a reason or excuse why we're not getting something done. Oh, I'm so busy, I just couldn't get to that today. I'm so busy, I'm so this. Again, that's a reason. It's an excuse. So I challenge you today to ask yourself, what do you need to set in motion? What can you do today? What can you do right now that will move you forward on your biggest goal, that will move you forward on that one thing that you want to do, that one thing that excites you that you've been putting off because you haven't found the right conditions. There will never be the right conditions. There will never be the right conditions. I achieved one of my biggest goals in my life in the worst conditions possible, not because I had help or not because of anything other than me staring that goal, that decision, that everything in the face and saying, no, I'm going to make this happen because it's important to me and because it will light me up. It will fuel my fire, because when we are doing things that light us up, that fill us up, that bring us joy, that move us forward in our life, that cause us to grow, yes, that resistance will happen. But when you push past resistance and you let yourself do that thing to achieve that thing, it actually will give you energy and make you feel more alive, like I am right now. See, I have had a long day, made dinner for my family, got all these things, have to go do the dishes after I'm done here, but I am excited and I'm on fire because I needed to say this today. I needed to tell somebody that ultimately what we get done is a decision. It's not a reaction. It's a choice. It's not something that's happening to us. It's what we're choosing to do. So, before I leave, I'm going to say it one more time. What do you need to set in motion? What do you need to do right now? What do you need to put on your calendar? What do you need to block out time for? What do you need to really, really turn that dial and get that thing done? Just get it done. Just start it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be anything but done, right? You can always go back later and make it perfect. So, kick those excuses to the curb. I am here to cheer you on. Leave a comment if you have something you're working on that you want me to cheer on. I will check in with you and I will see what you're doing, because it is so important to me to help you do this, to help you get going. Because if you are letting those excuses and those reasons and those rationalizations take control of what you really need to get done, you're not being able to be who you need to be. You're not being able to talk to the people you need to talk to. You're not able to serve the people that you need to serve. And so kick those excuses to the curb, because they are not serving you and they're not allowing you to serve anyone else. And I mean that. So I want to hear from you. I want to know what you're thinking. I want to encourage you, because it's hard. It is hard when we hit that resistance, especially when the resistance comes from us. So do the thing. Set it in motion. Get it going. Just start. Simply start. I hope you have a great evening, and I look forward to talking to you. Have a great rest of your evening, and I talk to you next week. Bye.